Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something a little bit differently today. Today I'm going to build my own Smash game, or I guess Smash-like game, if you will. And essentially, we're just gonna kind of go through the overall roster. We're gonna choose some new people. There's gonna be new people right down here. And essentially, I'm going to want to fill out at least 5 rows, at least 5 whole sets, 5 of each. There'll be 5 rows, 5 rows of characters each, and we're gonna have a little bit of a DLC roster. We're gonna do 3 rows of that, but nevertheless, let's get right into it. And enough explaining. First character we're gonna get, and again, there is no rules to this. We're just gonna kind of. But this is obviously something I just want to come over in the story with. There's not gonna be a lot of characters off restrictions. Anybody can literally make it. I'm just thinking of who I would think would be really cool to see in a fighting game. I guess this is not really Super Smash Bros. Esque, but uh, just something I thought would be fun. But first off on the list, we have got to get our GOAT, Mario. You cannot go wrong with Mario. Second on that list, I'm going to make a very interesting choice. And I'm actually going to go with the one and only. Where is he? 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 I wish there was a search bar on here. That'd be really dope. Let me see. If she's are here, then not. I feel like he's staring right in front of me and I'm just blinking. Where is he? You know what? I'm not gonna wait. While we wait, oh, there it is. Link, the hero of the heroes. Link is gonna make his first debut. He's gonna be the main guy we follow a little bit. Next on that list, you cannot go wrong with the Luigi, the brother of Mario. You cannot go wrong with that. As well as also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the Kid Prodigy Ness to tie up in there. A lot of original characters on that list right now so far. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to introduce the first villain. Again, not going to be the main villain. He's obviously just a villain we need to get in there, just kind of establish, okay, a little bit of hierarchy, a little bit of like, okay, here's a big bad we have to worry about, and that's Bowser. Can't go wrong with Bowser. And after that, I think the next best thing, I love this character to some degree. Love Marth. Love him. He has a lot of longevity I believe he can make out of a story. Then you gotta go with his Echo Fighter in Lucina. And again, maybe I'm biased. Also, first woman of the roster. Love to see it. Gotta get Captain Falcon. Fun pick. Super, super fun, easy moveset to learn. Gonna be a character that I want to change him around a little bit. I want him to be more or less a kind of a slugger, not a type of character where you just kind of like have to figure out where he fits on the roster, like in terms of like gameplay. But more or less, you pick him up, you kind of have an idea of what he's gonna do immediately. You can kind of just go in and be kind of a hard hitter and maybe win a couple games without a lot of hard training. But another character I've kind of grown to love recently is the man himself, Ike. His name is Ike, and he is always going to be looking for a fight. Ike is looking for a fight, and this is his fight. He's actually going to be, in my eyes, and how I'm going to portray Ike, is kind of being the lone guy of these two. Obviously, these guys all come from the same world, but he is going to be the one that's going to be kind of varying himself and keeping a distance and being kind of the one that's looking for a fight. Just looking to kind of just get into it with anybody. Who's ever really wanting to fight him, he's going to bring the fight to them. But nevertheless, we have a really set roster full of heroes and kind of, I would say, anti-heroes a little bit. Why not add in a straight-up character that's just going to fight everybody? Kind of a Little Mac. I love Little Mac in Super Smash Bros. Really fun character. And add in a couple more in there that will be kind of like his adversaries, if you will. Obviously, you got one person going around the world training, getting better. Right now, you don't see a lot of new picks when it comes down to characters that are not obviously in the Smash roster. But ladies and gentlemen, when there is a big bad, there is one man I need and I think would definitely do very well as a big bad and an idea of a platform fight. Obviously, in future games and future installments, he would not be maybe the character, but nevertheless, it is going to be my guy, Kazuya. And with that being said, there is one person that will follow Kazuya to the end of it to make sure he is defeated, and that's going to be Jin, the second protagonist. The man that is trying to save the day from his father and trying to overall get around in the world of Smash. He's going to be the one that's going to be injured here. But ladies and gentlemen, there's always going to be another person that's going to have a saving grace, but it's also going to be a sacrifice in the story. A twist, if you will. Pit and Dark Pit will make their arrival. As well as also, we are not going to include Palutena in the main story. However, she will be heavily referenced, as well as also we may see an image of her. But I don't believe she needs to be in the game as a base roster character, because I believe Palutena is more or less used as a godly figure to these two, kind of just sending these two out to handle the situation. Or maybe she's unable to get in contact with them as they get sucked into a portal here. But ladies and gentlemen, our second woman of the roster is going to be Daisy, and actually, we're not going to have Peach, because I think it'd be better off if we kind of avoid going with Peach, and we show what Daisy can do for the roster of obviously being the more go-getter of the two, I would say, but also being the one that's going to help Luigi kind of motivate himself. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you hear me kind of talking about other stuff, I'm talking to my friends. But nevertheless, Kazuya's going to set the hierarchy very clearly how he is the most powerful person here. Most likely he's going to have a demonstration of that by beating Bowser. But nevertheless, when you are as powerful as Kazuya, you're going to figure out how things work around here. And with that being said, there is also going to be a sense of power dynamics. One person that Kazuya is going to want to hire in this whole power dynamic is, honestly, if I really had to pick one character specifically he's going to hire, why not Goro? The idea of fighting worthy competitors would be an interesting appeal to Goro, as well as also Goro is going to figure out that Kazuya has something he doesn't have, and that's, powers that Goro, unfortunately, does not have at all. And ladies and gentlemen, a character that's going to make her appearance pretty much at the end of the story, Zero Suit Samus. Not regular Samus at all, but Zero Suit, we're going to see her ship crashes. But ladies and gentlemen, you can't have Sonic, or actually we don't have Sonic yet. I kind of just gave away another pick here. Sonic and Shadow will make their debut, alongside Knuckles, who will make his arrival as well. Kind of a character, again, kind of tying up with the Little Max and the other two right here. As well as also, Kazuya and Jin. Really just hard hitter, doesn't really think, as well, I should say Captain Falcon as well. Kind of just a character who doesn't have a lot of thought to him why he's here. He's kind of just a fighter. Not a lot to do with the story, overall just giving all he's got, just fighting the fight. And with that being said, our first Pokemon, or I guess three Pokemon so far, will be these three. Pokemon Trainer, Bulbasaur, Charizard, and Squirtle. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting set of people to come up next, but ladies and gentlemen, why not Dr. Eggman? Kind of another villain that's just going to be so dastardly to mess with Sonic and them. It's a fun one, not a very serious character. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to differ from the roster. One man that is going to not side with Kazuya is going to be the perfect anti-hero, Kratos, the god of war. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a very serious set of people, I would say. Almost everybody here is very dedicated to the job, very locked in. Besides maybe, this guy, a couple of these guys here, cracking jokes every now and then. Kind of have to have a character that's kind of a joke in there. So why not bring in a joke character? And I think Conquer would be hilarious to see. Kind of a joke, not really in the story at all. Maybe seen getting beat up by somebody or, just tossed around or maybe launched into outer space. But what a fun character he would be. But ladies and gentlemen, for the memes, he is going to debut Waluigi. He's going to make his arrival in this universe. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, there's also one more fighter I would love to see make the base cut. It is going to be Min Min. And so far, we are one row, two. Ladies and gentlemen, we are already 7 rows in. Actually, can we put one right here? No, we can't. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have at least 5 in each of these rows. I guess I should have said 7 for a base roster. But there's gonna be 5 in each, so this is technically getting down to the last nitty gritty. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, with some newcomers that people may not seen before, there's gonna be one wise man of the bunch, Genji. Actually, we're gonna do, we'll do one more row. One more little row down here, because why not? This is supposed to be, a fun game. Why not? We haven't seen a lot of the newcomers yet. Genji will be making his debut, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, he's going to have an arch enemy in the likes of Lucario. Reasoning, Lucario just doesn't like Genji at all. I'm not going to go too much into detail with that. It's going to be something there with those two. That I think overall it just kind of be like a friendly rivalry where two of these people just have to give it all they got. Ladies and gentlemen, in a new world, there is always going to be new treasures. Why not Sly Cooper? The one and only thief of thieves trying to steal it all. And ladies and gentlemen, treasure hunters will be coming to this world, or I guess at least being teleported here. Why not? And ladies and gentlemen, I would say the king of kings, should have addressed it, Lara Croft, one of the goats of ghosts when it comes to treasure hunting. One of the greatest to ever do it, Nathan Drake, will make his arrival. These three are going to have an amazing rivalry. But ladies and gentlemen, with a very, very, very serious roster almost. I mean, a lot of these characters, I would say, also have a little bit of, like, side stuff going on. Like, they're kind of not here to, like, mainly goof off or mainly, like, kind of just trying to get out and also trying to, like, get used to what's happening. You gotta have to have your jokes again. But ladies and gentlemen, I always like to say we have a little bit of a reserve when it comes to the base roster of, like, okay, you can kind of dig into, like, our search bar area. Sorry, I gotta search it up. Search bar area, searching up new characters and trying to figure out, okay, where will we go, of getting new characters. But ladies and gentlemen, I feel like our roster needs to have a bona fide character that comes in, saves the day. So why not bring in the chosen one himself? Not Fire God Liu Kang, ladies and gentlemen, but straight up Liu Kang. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, the chosen one will make his Fnatic debut as being, ladies and gentlemen, just that, the chosen one to save the day. Or excuse me, Liu Kang, obviously, extremely serious. Kind of going along with these guys. Honestly, it's going to be quite interesting his reaction to Kazuya, as well as also Jin. But ladies and gentlemen, third down, we have 2 more rows to go, I should say. I think I said it one more, but I'm going to go 2 more. Because to make this roster a little bit bigger, it's really small right now, I would say. I feel like we need someone just to kind of clarify where we at when it comes to fighting games. Why not? Chun-Li is going to be a character that you don't see every day. She's a fun pick. Has a lot to say. But ladies and gentlemen, along with this huge, enormous roster, you can't have one face of Mortal Kombat if you don't have the other. Scorpion and Sub-Zero will make their tie-ins as well. And ladies and gentlemen, I loved her inclusion. She was so fun of a character to see around. Isabella will make her appearance. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as well, there is a lot of people on this roster that deserve to have a chance on here. And it's also bringing up the idea, could we go into our reserve list again? I always like to say we have 5 for the main roster. 5, or at least 5 reserves for the main roster. The question is, where are we going to go. Because again, there's a lot of great people on this roster who could definitely show off exactly why they're so great. But we also need a character to link how are these people getting here. Obviously, Kazuya is the one who kind of gained a little bit more power here. But he's got to be a person, and again, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this character that well, then I am kind of about to put you guys on a little bit. I don't know if I still have the file saved. But it's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to put you guys onto Alter from Apex Legends. A dimension warping character that is honestly going to be quite fun to see overall. I know a lot of people don't really have a lot to say about her. I know a lot of people in Apex either like her or don't like her. But I think she's one of those characters where she's going to explain a little bit of this. She's going to be the character that essentially she somehow, some way opened a huge enough portal to suck in these people, or essentially she may have been dimension hopping through the worlds, and that portal that she left behind in the worlds overall sucked all these people in, and they're here now to fight. And with that being said, she's not going to be the big bad, but she's definitely going to be a character that's going to be overall very hard to stop. Have a high window of playability, as well as also, ladies and gentlemen, she is going to have a astounding skill gap, I would say, where the more unexperienced alters would probably have a lesser chance of beating the more higher experiences, while a high experienced alter could probably handle against almost any character. But with that being said, there's also another character that I would consider kind of a wise man, or a person that's maybe even existed in this world already. Mewtwo. Essentially being here already from the start, explaining what was going on in the Rise of Kazuya, and staying neutral, not interfering, not interacting, kind of wanting to be left alone until interacted with. That being said, I think Mewtwo would be a great example of a person that doesn't want to get interacted or interact with the villains at all, just kind of wants to stay on their own, just be their own entities in their own selves. But ladies and gentlemen, from each universe, there's always going to be, that makes, actually, now that I think about it, that makes two of my, in my bag pickups here. Again, there's no limit to who can be in. I just like to put a little limit on myself and be like, okay, I don't choose a whole roster of people like, are kind of almost random here. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, the next person I want to add in is Aloy. I think this would be a very interesting pick, as obviously she comes from a world where this is totally new. But as a fighter, there is one person I think Aloy would be I would like to introduce Aloy to and establish Aloy, kind of a little bit of a rivalry. And ladies and gentlemen, she is from a very, very old franchise, and that would be Naraka. She will be making her debut and return to the, I guess, the limelight, if you will. Naraka will probably have a little bit of a feud with Aloy, in the sense of she's kind of confused, but Naraka will be the next character to join the roster, in the sense of she's trying to figure out what's going on, and these two maybe interact with each other, maybe coming from two different aspects, maybe a little bit of confusion. But when they interact this first time, it's going to be a fight. But ladies and gentlemen, one person that's not going to have a lot of roles in the story, kind of maybe making an appearance, maybe even fighting Kazuya and losing that fight, not dying perhaps, but getting maybe beaten down upon, is going to be Joker. And I like Joker a lot. I just really don't want him to be a situation where he's obviously going to be a hero, where he is a vigilante that works kind of in the own shadows. But ladies and gentlemen, we're on the final list of base roster characters. This is a very difficult decision in my eyes, because again, this means after this, everybody who makes the cut now is officially DLC. And I like to think of DLC as obviously like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and obviously we may do a second part if people are interested in it. That actually makes 3 now, so I have 2 more in my bag. But ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is taboo. But ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to set up another alternative to why these characters are here. Yes, Alter is also a main reason a lot of these characters are here, but there's also going to be one person looming in the background that's also going to be at the end of the game, elaborating why these people got here. Actually, better, I'm going to put him. I'm going to make a new tab. I'm going to add a new column below, and it is going to be called NPCs or reference. Oh, I'm typing horrible. I feel like I spelled reference wrong. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. I'm tripping. And we're gonna add that. I think I need to press not enter. Okay, I'm tripping. I am horrible. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm horrible at this. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am terribly sorry. I am horrible at this. Alright, there you go. But ladies and gentlemen, Taboo will make his debut as a end credits character, essentially elaborating that he also was the one to bring a lot of these people here, as well as also making a whole world with multiple cities, peoples, even different animals and creatures existing as a way of keeping them here and observing them as a ultimate, superior life form in his own mind. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, there's also going to be another character that is going to be referenced a tad bit, and that is going to be... Actually, no, I'm not going to do that one. Actually, better yet, Ganondorf will be referenced by Link. Link is going to have a little bit of a situation where he was just fighting Ganon, and he got summoned out of his fight to be here. But ladies and gentlemen, now we have a very interesting choices now. It's getting, in my mind, a little bit thinner when it comes down to who can make the cut, who can't make the cut. I think we don't have enough characters that are just kind of just joking around, not really like anomalies in that, but more or less just kind of like, okay, didn't see that coming, didn't see you existing here, but hey, you got brought here because you were considered an anomaly to some degree. So why not? Why not a random goose just somehow, someway making the base roster? Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a controversial one. I can definitely see that one. Because, obviously, this is a very, unique roster of characters. And a goose made the cut. Obviously, it's going to be a very unique one. But hey, it'll be a fun little guest character. But ladies and gentlemen, you can't have a universe where you have all these unique characters fighting it out, figuring out where they are, without one and the only Spyro figuring out where he is, as well as also being one of the very few characters that is going to be kind of a almost Easter egg that he's here. Not highly shown in the story. He's not going to be in the story a lot at all, maybe if any. But ladies and gentlemen, this game is also going to represent chaos. You never know who's going to show up. Crash Bandicoot makes the cut. Very late, very, very late inclusion. But as well as also, ladies and gentlemen, he was also summoned here as well on a mission. Solid Snake, or just Snake. I think Solid Snake is different. I am tripping. I do not know the Snake lore. Please do not come after. I'm so sorry. But ladies and gentlemen, to sum this all off, we have a lot of good heroes here to beat Kazuya, or at least go toe-to-toe with Kazuya. I feel like there's kind of a character that would be quite interesting to see to sum off the base roster. And this character that I am thinking we could see, actually, better get, ooh, this is going to show a little bit of interest here. A character, I'm actually going to do, one more, I'm going to do a full row, but I'm going to add 2 more characters to this, like, a little bit. Because this next character, I'm just adding straight for story purposes, and I love him so much as a character. Ladies and gentlemen, he is my favorite outlaw. He is not many men, but he is Erron Black. Yep, I know. But ladies and gentlemen, he is not Mini Men. He is Aaron Black, ladies and gentlemen, and he will be actually summoned in as well, but he's going to do work with Kazuya. Kazuya has an expert marksman, a gunslinger that does not have a problem putting any of these people down. But we need a solidified hero. Obviously, we have a lot of solidified heroes in here, but we do need someone that is genuinely going to be kind of a saving grace, potentially if the heroes don't get it done. Obviously, this guy is definitely going to come through, as well as also Link and maybe Marv. But ladies and gentlemen, the last two characters I would say on the base roster that I think would have a really good, interesting moveset, as well as also a good showing potentially in the story. I think it is going to have to come down to a couple different factors here. Where they play in the story, as well as also their gameplay. This is something that I feel like we're going to have to take in account, as well as also something we're going to have to see, is it really worth them making the cut? You know what I mean? So, with that being said, looking at this roster, I will say, and that actually makes another one, so I'm down to one more if I really want to add another person in. But with that being said, ooh, that's difficult. I mean, we do have a set. We have a good set. And I do feel like Jin obviously would pull through at the end, and Liu Kang. Ooh, we do need someone that's just going to be, you know what? I scratch the idea over here. We have some really good heroes in here. We need, honestly, a straight-up neutral hero, or neutral evil, who doesn't rock with Kazuya, but more or less just wants to create his own chaos. Why not a monstrous titan in the likes of Ridley? Why not? He's a simple dragon-like creature. This is going to be an interesting interaction, as well as also, overall, he's just going to be ransacking a lot of this roster, kind of just going through, fighting these people to fight. Never really necessarily having a reason to, but just having the idea he can do it. And ladies and gentlemen, the last person to make the cut will be Dante. But ladies and gentlemen, making the DLC roster, actually, you can make another character references to that and that, because I feel like this would be kind of interesting to see. Our first DLC character that will kick it all off is Akuma. Arriving late to the battle, Akuma will bring a ferocity that no other character has seen, and overall, not holding back at all. But ladies and gentlemen, with every great fighter comes a greater fighter, and Heihachi, you cannot kill him. He's almost unkillable. He will find his way to fight his son, somehow, some way in this game. He's gonna fight Kazuya. And ladies and gentlemen, kind of in the middle. I would say this, the year 1 DLC is going to be very serious. A lot of characters who have a very major impact into DLC, or either characters that are just straight up evil. And why not bring in one of the most evil characters to ever exist, Sephiroth? But ladies and gentlemen, major hit after major hit after major hit. One character that will not stand for this is going to be Raiden. But ladies and gentlemen, the hits will keep getting bigger as the first year DLC has banger after banger after banger after banger, I would say. Very serious characters indeed, if I must say as well. For our next inclusion, I'm going to go into... Actually, but at this point, it does not matter if we go in the back, because technically, we avoided it. M. Bison will actually make the cut. He's obviously, base already on here. But, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've ever seen PlayStation All-Stars, but I'm about to put a lot of people onto something. Actually, excuse me, not Sweet Tooth. Cole will make his Fnatic return. Ladies and gentlemen, a man from infamous Cole McGrath will make his return to a lot of, I would say, popularity, if you will. Character that we haven't seen in potentially years. Cole will make it. And the thing about Cole, he's just getting heated up, as he will be one of the most diverse characters when it comes down to gameplay. He is going to be obviously an electric-based character who's going to overall be a very difficult challenge for a lot of new players. I could definitely see Cole being a character where once he comes in, he's definitely not slowing down once he gets started. He's very hard to stop. Very combo-oriented, very hard-hitting, a lot of pause, very serious characters right here in this first year, really showing that this is a fighting game at heart. And there's going to be a lot of hard-hitting fighting game characters that are going to make their cut. But there's also going to be a lot of wacky characters coming up. But nevertheless, for year one, to close it all out and show what this game is all about, we're going to go back in the bag a little bit. And we're going to bring out one of Kratos' past villains. And that is going to be Zeus. This is going to be an interesting one. Because again, Zeus is obviously dead. Which means Zeus is going to have a very, very different appearance than what he was originally if we were allowed this. Obviously, Zeus is going to be kind of our character that's going to be establishing, whoa, Kratos has to come face to face with his past, but nevertheless, this version of Zeus is going to be maybe a ghostly version, or maybe in a different universe where he's potentially alive. But ladies and gentlemen, year 2 of DLC is going to be quite an interesting one, a little bit of everything here. Well, year 2 will kick off with the likes of Cloud, very unique one. Ooh, there you go. Cloud will kick off year 2. Obviously, a character that maybe could have made the base roster. Obviously, everybody, obviously, on the DLC, on a canon note, actually got brought in later on, or maybe, you know, they were here potentially during the battle or two. But Cloud is going to make his emphatic debut into the franchise and the DLC column. But, ladies and gentlemen, next on that list, going to be kind of an interesting one. I know a lot of people are going to be very controversially mixed with this. And Incineroar will make it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did think about this earlier. Green Ninja would have been cool to see, but definitely not a character I would like to see. I would definitely like to see the Pokemons potentially here. But I think as well, I think the Pokemon characters would be cooler if they just kind of existed in the world maybe, or just roamed around. But ladies and gentlemen, when it comes down to DLC, there is a lot of what if scenarios. Year 2 is going to be all about bringing in the names that you don't expect to see. Ladies and gentlemen, a shocking appeal to the audience. He's going to make his debut, Deadpool. Oh my gosh, my typing is horrible today. But ladies and gentlemen, I also do want to show you guys this. It's cool. Me and my friend actually did this before. We actually did this. He was Nick, and this was his DLC roster. And I was, right here. This is my Xbox gamer tag, and this is my roster right down here. I always thought this is, obviously my game is more superior than his. I mean, like, if I may say for a quick second or two, he has Undying, cool Ratchet and Clank. Shantae, I believe. I forgot her name. This lady, I forgot her name, was like Sparkplug or something like that. And he had Randall from Monsters Inc. Can't lie, his game was pretty, you know what? His game was pretty bad, but ladies and gentlemen, he tried his hardest. As well as also in his second game, he tried again, he tried to proceed with his game. This year I would say it was a little bit better. He had, a couple bald bull, that was cool. We had Spider-Man. Pretty still bad though, DLC roster was again a weird, but it was his game, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. But mine roster came through clutch again, if I must say. And year 2 obviously did not fail in my eyes. Or my second game, if you will. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, with year 2, we gotta have the Merc with a mouth, Deadpool. Now, this is gonna be an interesting one because I think Deadpool is gonna be the first character that makes people say, okay, who else can make the cut? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if anyone else noticed him before, But ladies and gentlemen, I kind of love this character. Wolverine and Deadpool are going to be reunited in back-to-back DLCs. Wolverine and Deadpool are together again. Second year DLC is going to hit with banger after banger. And that is going to be strictly on purpose. But ladies and gentlemen, second year DLC, again, we have some really cool hard-hitting names up there. But why not complete something? Add in Tails. Kind of a weaker link when you come down to these first couple. I mean, Incineroar is also potentially a weak link if you consider him that. But Tails is going to be a fun one. Bayonetta as well, kind of getting her in here. Would love to see her on the roster. Just kind of would like to say rest in peace to the voice actress who played her. Honestly, I didn't actually play the Bayonetta series, but honestly, I would love to play it on stream if you guys are interested in it. And I just wanted to give my props and respect to the lady who unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace to her as well. But ladies and gentlemen, our roster is going to get very, very interesting with the likes of this next DLC character. King K. Rool will make the final cut as the Year 2 ender. Kind of being an interesting one again, kind of where Year 2 had a lot of hard hitters, but also kind of cooled off, I would say, maybe. With Tails, maybe kind of like, okay, you know, completing the Sonic Force, if you will, or Sonic Team, while Year 1 was hard hitting. Year 3 is the final year of the game, you know, final DLC set. This is gonna be overall just getting some of the most requested characters, maybe even the funnest character ideas in. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite characters of all time in all fiction, Samurai Jack, will make his Fnatic debut in the franchise. Ooh, actually, a really cool photo. I love this. It's a really, really cool photo. But ladies and gentlemen, the Foolish Samurai, unfortunately, got summoned into a world. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this. Save Multiverse. Please, ladies and gentlemen. I love that game with my heart and soul. Just taking a moment to give that game its respect. But I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm not a major YouTuber or streamer, but I just want to say that I love the game with all my heart and soul. And I wanted to say it here. Save Multiverse. But ladies and gentlemen, with Samurai Jack making the cut, there is also going to be a character that is super, kind of just the opposite of Samurai Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have the American hero himself, Peacemaker. Trying to find the right image, actually, that'd be really cool. But ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Peacemaker. Peacemaker will make the cut as the third year of DLC. Kind of an interesting one. Two characters that have literally almost nothing in like. But ladies and gentlemen, this next pick is actually going to be quite interesting here. I think he is going to be, or actually, he's going to actually be our third Tekken character, actually fourth Tekken character, showing the franchise is definitely highlighted heavily in our universe. Love it heavily. It's going to be Martial Law. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to see his interaction with characters like Liu Kang. I think that'd be such an interesting interaction. While Martial Law beat Paul into getting in the game. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, you can't have a fighting game without this man potentially being here. Leon S. Kennedy will make the cut. And ladies and gentlemen, I realize we only have one woman here. Let's change that up. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, should probably put her on this list now. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I'm going to add in a character that I know is going to be quite interesting when it comes down to overall kind of a kind of a character that I know a lot of people are going to be kind of like, what? Where on earth did this character come from? But ladies and gentlemen, I feel like this would be quite cool to see. She'd be very interesting to see as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Harley Quinn. As Harley Quinn will make her Fnatic debut in the franchise. She will definitely be a character that, obviously, moveset-wise, she's going to be heavily inspired by multiple different takes of her. But she's going to be... Oh, that is an action figure. Okay, these are insane, bro. But ladies and gentlemen, Harley Quinn will make the cut for DLC. And that is going to be a character that I know a lot of people are going to be kind of upset about. Because, obviously, she's not the most requested. But year 3 is all about kind of getting out the last bit of characters that we potentially may have been working on at one point. But ladies and gentlemen, Mortal Kombat actually put me onto this character heavily. And honestly, I cannot lie. I do not regret it whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Conan the Barbarian. A straight up bruiser, a character that will definitely bring the fight to the one and only Ike of our roster. Again, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Ike and he is looking for a fight. But year 3 has been quite an interesting bag. Obviously not the most insane set of super characters here, I would say. But characters that I would say definitely are packing a very major role potentially maybe in future installments. But ladies and gentlemen, the final character that I would like to see in this game, and I think would make a very interesting mood set. Again, going back to Multiverse, why not? A straight up nightmarish collection, Jason Voorhees will make the cut. Ladies and gentlemen, as the final installment, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. This is my overall tier list, and overall what I would kind of go with for a fighting game idea. Please let me know how you feel about it. Thank you all, and please subscribe and comment.